set of observed production pictures, set of Mismatch.
Okay.
That's good, but you might want to slow it down a little bit. You're running kind of. You were reading it really fast.
All right.
And if you say, and it might be easier to say like it's absurd, but if you say absurd, some people pronounce it U instead of A. If that helps, absurd.
Absurd.
Yeah, because
or absurd.
Absurd. Yeah, it depends on how you say it, but some people say it absurd, which is the same thing. If that helps.
Okay.
Just the phonetics of it.
So should I say absurd? Yeah.
Whichever one's easier. See, up works better for you.
Yeah,
see,
absurd.
It works better for some people. Okay.
Hi, I'm Rose Jenevere, and welcome to Behind the Set today. We are on the observed production pictures set of Mismatch.
All right, cameras are rolling.
Will you read the first page?
Yeah, we're redoing the first page.
Okay.
So this take 2 of page 1. Action.
Well, I'm fun-loving and fact-filled. There's very little I haven't learned, and even less that I'm not willing to share. So go ahead, quiz me. What would you like to know?
Well, for starters, why our government would impregnate a turtle with the genes of a catfish? Why do they spell certain words with double L's? Why do they even keep me alive? Especially with me knowing what I know.
Scared of the Illuminati?
You don't even know what that is.
A secret society controlling and manipulating world events.
Okay. How do I know you're not one of them?
Let's see. I'm of mixed heritage and or have been a member of the ACLU, Theory Club, and Greenpeace. Read every bit of counterculture and underground literature over the past 10 years. And besides, I suck at math. Unforgettable to an elite.
Okay. What do you think, Matt? Are you happy with your thing? You want to do one more?
Well, what did you think of it?
I thought
this is your movie.
Yeah.
So
well, when I just try like to give the actor, because sometimes the actor's not, even if I'm happy, if the actor's not happy and wants to do another one, I always like to give them that opportunity. But I think we got it.
Okay. Well,
you okay?
Okay. Cool.
Okay. Because I know how it is when I was acting, and sometimes I'm like, you might.
I didn't like the way I did that.
And so you like to give the actor. You want the actor to be happy. All right. And so you're happy.
Yeah.
Okay.
What about you, Rose? Are you happy?
Yeah.
I had to put her on the spot.
Yeah, there you
go. Make sure she's paying attention over there.
All right, so we're page.
Jerry does that to me all the time.
Rose, you like it?
All right, camera 2 is rolling. Camera 1's rolling. Action.
You wet the bed until you were 8, are still scared of the dark, and get somewhat aroused by dressing as Peter Pan?
You are one of them!
Hey, come back! This is fun! I know lots more I can tell you about you. Come back!
Okay.
Yeah, I have to run out of the room.
And Matt, you could just run to like right there.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, just
and then you're out of the frame. Yeah. Okay. Camera 1's rolling. Camera 2's rolling. Action.
You wet the bed until you were 8, are still scared of the dark, and get somewhat aroused by dressing as Peter Pan?
You are one of them!
Hey, come back! This is fun! I know lots more I can tell you about. You come back!
Okay, that was great. You want to do one more?
Yeah, we'll do one more. I'm just going to get more and more like Hammy as it goes on.
All right. Okay, action.
You wet the bed until you're 8, are still scared of the dark, and get somewhat aroused by dressing as Peter Pan?
You are one of them!
Hey, come back! This is fun! I know lots more I can tell you about. You come back!
Okay, good. That was awesome. All right.
Well, he told me to Shatner it up for this. So
yeah. All right, so we got 3 minutes left on this tape, but this is a quick scene. So we might be able to fit it in here. If not, I'll have to swap the tape out. 2's rolling, camera 1's rolling, action.
So dig, man. What's this negative vibe thinking everyone is out to get you? Life's too short for that.
The only reason to pick me is to keep an eye on me. But the joke's on you, because I'm watching you.
Hey, man, just put on some Jerry and chill out.
Chill out. When the world is rigged, when aliens control both Caribou and Starbucks coffee,
Oh my god, I got this tune. Just popped in. I'm just gonna go with it.
Yeah, go ahead and tune out. You'll be easy to round up into the FEMA camps.
I did some FEMA once. It was rad.
Don't think I let my guard down playing Wasted. It's been tried before.
Who's playing? I'm floating away.
Cut. That was good. All right.
I'm floating away.
Yeah, she hams it up too.
Yeah.
All right. This is. Whoops. Ready? This is take 2. Action.
So dig, man, what's with the negative waves? Thinking everyone is out to get you. Life's too short for that.
The only reason you picked me is to keep an eye on me. But the joke's on you, 'cause I'm watching you.
Hey, man, just put on some Jerry and chill out.
Chill out. When the world is rigged, when aliens control both Caribou and Starbucks coffee.
Oh my god, I got this tune. Just popped in. I'm just gonna go with it.
Yeah, go ahead and tune out. You'll be easier to round up into the FEMA camps.
I did some FEMA once. It was rad.
Don't you think I've let my guard down? You've been playing Wasted. It's been tried before, sweetheart.
Who's playing? I'm floating away. Cut. That was great. All right, I got a minute left. You want to try one more take?
Can we do it in a minute?
I think so.
You added sweetheart in there.
Yeah, it's okay.
I had stuff.
That's all right. All right, ready? So, I did green screen for the first time in the last film, Subconscious Reality. And the reason we did that is because I couldn't get all the... we shot in 5 states, 9 locations across 5 states. So in some cases I couldn't get the actors to the other state. So I shot the backgrounds and then put them in behind. And I liked that. It was fun. And so when I thought of this idea, I'm like, okay, I need people to be kind of in a studio setting because it's a show. And after doing green screen, I was like, that's perfect. So I designed a logo. This is Mismatch. And I just dropped the logo, and it's in the promo. Yeah, that's how you could see it. So anyway, within the promo, you could see the background. This is Mismatch, and then the actor sits in front. And so it just worked well for this, because otherwise, what is your background going to be? You know, it needs to be something related to the show, not, you know, not a brick wall or something, you know. So it was functional. That's kind of why I
So
did
what
it.
got you interested in becoming a director?
Well, actually, I would say it stems back to when I was a kid. I used to like play with little toy soldiers and Hot Wheel cars and make movies out of them, you know. And I wrote a couple scripts, and my dad had an old camera, but you know, it was the technology was so old we could never really shoot. And so I've always wanted to do it. And then when I got out of college, I got back together with some of my friends from high school, and we did a public access show for 4 years, and we did 50 episodes. And we wrote, scripted, directed, cast, did everything. So it was like a training ground. We had a deadline every month. We had to produce the show every month. So it gave us an opportunity to meet deadlines and to actually do all of the different things that are involved, you know, beyond just directing. You know, casting, acting, set up the set, break down the equipment, everything.
What kind of background stories do you would like to share?
You mean about me or
anything like experience?
Well, I guess the main thing would be a lot of filmmakers take the approach that they like to perfect one thing, and in most cases it's horror films. You also see some directors doing like romantic comedies because those are kind of the two most popular genres. The difference that I've done is I've tried to do something different each time. So we've done a horror film, we did a black and white film noir, we did a drinking drama, we did a science fiction, and now we're doing you know, what I call a straight up comedy. You know, then we're going to try to do a horror comedy. We've done a dark comedy. So try to make each film different, because each film I want it to stand on its own. And you know, you may not like all the films, but if you like a certain style of film, we've probably done a style that you like. So that's kind of been the approach I've taken. And plus it keeps me interested, because if I'm just doing the same thing over and over again, what's the point? I mean, if I've done it once, do I really need to do it again?
What kind of experience have you done with actors and other photographers and?
Well, we've been very fortunate to have some very high-end actors. We had Lana Wood in our last film from James Bond. We had Conrad Brooks from Planet of Outer Space, had him in 2 films, and Barry McAvoy, an Irish actor, who did his own film in Hollywood called, of course I'm going to forget the name of it, An Everlasting Peace. And we had Barry in Small Fish, Small Pond, and Clark Fox, who's a well-known artist. We had him in Taste of Desperation. And also I did some extra work before I started as a director, and it's funny, the reason I did it was to try to sell a screenplay, not to be an actor. So I'm thinking, oh, I'll go and I'll be the guy with the screenplay and everybody else is going to be acting, and I'll find somebody else. And I get in there and every single person in the room has a screenplay. All of them are in there for the same reason. They're all in there, yeah, well, here's my idea. And I'm like, I thought I was going to be the only one. Everybody else is going to be actors, and I would sell one of these actors on my screenplay. But it turned out all of them were in there trying to sell their screenplays. So it was pretty funny. But I had my couple moments of fame where I was in Runaway Bride in the second wedding scene. You can see me in the frame of that. And then I was also in a TV show called Jag. You could see me in the background. And I think there was one other thing where you could actually see. Oh, I was in a thing called Daring Capers. I actually had some dialogue in that, and played a character in the first episode of Daring Capers.
So what kind of background information do you have?
Well, I think my advice to independent filmmakers is you better not just like one hat to put on your head. You're going to have to wear a lot of hats, because independent films generally don't have a budget, or if they do, it's a very small budget, and that budget might be to pay somebody like Lana Wood or Conrad Brooks to be your star. You're not going to have money to pay everybody on your crew. So you want people that can do multiple things. And there's a guy, for example, who's worked on a lot of my films. He can do music, he can do makeup, he can act, he can set up the equipment. So the more things you can do, the better. And if it's okay if you can't do one thing. If you can't act, but you can do all the crew stuff, then you're valuable. If you can't, like for me, for example, I can't do music. That's the one thing I can't do. So I have to get somebody else to do music. But I write the script, I direct, I can act, I set up the equipment, I do the editing, and that's how I'm able to afford to do all these movies, is because if I had to pay people to do all that stuff, I probably would have done one movie, and then I'd have to go to work for 5 years to pay for it. So, I just recommend that people learn, and everybody's got something they're not good at, and that's fine. Some people just aren't very good with technology, so maybe they can't edit. You don't have to do everything, but you unless you're a really good actor, you really need to learn multiple skill sets, I think.
For an independent film, how much does it normally cost?
Well, I think initially it's pretty expensive because you've got to get your equipment. So you need a good quality camera, you need the editing equipment, you probably need a computer, you need sound equipment, lights. So initially you could be running into several $1,000s. But the good news is all that equipment you can continue to use for years on end. So your price will go down over time. And once again, unfortunately, I don't have the kind of budget to pay people. I wish I did. I don't make enough. I lose money on these films, to be honest with you. But most people don't care about that. They're excited and interested in doing this, and they want to do it. And they've kind of made the decision, like I have, if on my deathbed I didn't make any money, that's not going to be what I'm worried about. I'm going to say I had fun doing it. I got to do what I tell stories that I wanted to tell, and that's going to be what's more important to me than whether or not I made money, and as a business decision. But that's kind of something each filmmaker has to decide. I mean, a lot of people get out of the business because they're not making money. A lot of people spend too much money initially, and then they go broke and can't do any more. So I hope I answered the question. So I guess I should speak a little bit about the company. I didn't do that previously. So Absurd Production Pictures is the name of the film company. I'm just going to show a couple films. This is our most recent film. This is the one that it's a sci-fi. It's apocalyptic sci-fi. It's about after the world has been destroyed, the elites are what's left. And normally in a post-apocalyptic film, it's these stragglers that just got lucky. But see, this is contrived. The elites survived. Everybody else is dead, and the other people that are alive are the assassins that the elites hired, and then they start to worry about the assassins going after them. And it stars Lana Wood from James Bond, and also Conrad Brooks from Plan 9. And then another film that I did, this was my first feature, it's a black and white film noir. Film noir is my favorite type of film. And those are films from the 40s to the 50s, the black and white detective stories. And so that's what this is. It's the one time that I played the lead. I'll never do it again. But I wanted to do it for this particular character. I did want to play the lead. So I'm the detective. and Conrad is also in this, Clark Fox. So the way to find us is absurdproductionspictures.com. We have trailers for all our films. We have descriptions and write-ups about all the films, and then you can also purchase if you're interested. We have DVDs, and then for our features, we also stream through Amazon. And this film, or actually the one I don't have with me, Small Fish, Small Pond, is now available on Amazon Prime. But if you go to the website, you can click on the links, and it'll get you to whatever you need to whatever you want to do. You can watch the trailer, and if you're interested, you can either buy the DVD or stream it.
Do you want to introduce yourself?
Hello, I'm Matt Byrnes. I've been an off and on independent actor, and I put on the local 4-state Comic-Con. I've also done some horror shows and whatnot. So I'm a jack of all trades and master of none.
What got you into acting?
Funny story. A gentleman who just passed away recently, Conrad Brooks. I was coming out of work one day, coming out of the local grocery store, and I unbuttoned my work shirt, and I had a Plan 9 from Outer Space shirt on. And this little old man comes up to me, and he's like, "Hey, champ, you like Plan 9 from Outer Space? You like Ed Wood?" I'm like, "Yeah." Start talking to him. I'm like, "Wow, this old man's really knowledgeable. What does he need, money for the bus or something? What's going on here?" And he's like, "Nice to meet you, champ. I'm Conrad Brooks." And I literally told him, "No, you're not." And I kept walking until he finally drugged me over to his old Jaguar car, and there in the trunk was all his merchandise, and I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe I'd met Conrad Brooks. So then we proceeded to walk across the parking lot, have some lunch at Waffle House, and we talked about it being in a movie, and here I am.
How long have you been acting?
Well, off and on since 2000, I think 2007 was right around the time we did Gypsy Vampire: The Final Bloodlust, which I starred in and played a talking zombie named Max. And that was one of Conrad's last films that he directed, produced, and starred in, or whatever. One of his, they called it the homemade horror collection, and our Alpha Video called it that, or whatever. But Conrad was great, and we're all going to miss him very much. He did a lot for independent, no-budget film.
Do you have any interesting stories that happened behind the scenes of a set?
Well, I mean, there's I've been on lots of low budget productions, and off and on from getting to be an extra in Toxic Tutu, which was a mockumentary about the Toxic Avenger, which should be getting released soon if it hasn't already been released. I was involved with Creepy Crawl Entertainment for a while. Now I'm getting involved with High Rock Pictures, where I'm starring in a movie called Bottom Creek. And that's been fun. We actually have made pretty good friends with a gentleman by the name of Kent Wagner. He's been in Guardians of the Galaxy 2, Walking Dead, Vampire Diaries, and having a guy like that in your stable, especially a guy that's cool and will work with no budget that you have. I mean, Kent's the best friend of any independent movie, so I mean, it was cool getting to work with area Scream Queen, Scream Queen's Mel Heflin, and Genevieve Rossi has been a lot of fun as well. So having a chainsaw literally held within an inch of my body. If you ever watch the movie Dead Men Tell No Tales, that is legit fear on my face. Because if I would have gotten up, I would have gotten my heart sawed out. So that would, like I said, that would have been that. Then I wouldn't be sitting here right now. But yeah, like I said, it's been a blast. Everything we've done has been a blast so far. So.
Now you also promote the 4-State Comic-Con. How did you get started in that?
Well, I was in the music business for many years, doing rock and metal shows, and like I said, well, then of course, then later on, I met Conrad, and I started going to more conventions like Monster Mania, Horror Find Weekend, Scares and Cares, of course, which is a great con that my buddy Joe Ripple does, and I was like, hey, our area doesn't have anything like this. We should bring something like this here. Of course, we don't have the budget or whatever that a lot of the bigger shows do, like your Wizard Worlds and your Walker Stalkers, but I mean, people the people in the 4-State area have really gotten behind 4-State, which is fantastic. I mean, they look forward to it every year because a lot of folks, they can't afford to go to cons. The big ones, especially, because Baltimore Comic-Con, you have to drive all the way to Baltimore, and it's $40 just to get in the door. So it's just, and I'm not knocking those cons. I mean, they're amazing conventions, and I mean, and I mean, they're huge with lots of stars, lots of celebrities, lots of overhead. I mean, so I would definitely, I mean, that's the point we all want to get to one day, I'm sure. But it's just, but for right now, we're having a great time in Hager Hall, and I have a great staff for the Comic-Con who've gotten behind me and whatnot. So I can't thank everybody enough. Take two.
Now you're doing a documentary on the fourth date. What can you tell us about it?
Oh yeah, it's a great film put together by my good friend Jason Delgado, who runs Northgate Pictures. He just had a movie released, a horror flick released called Easter Sunday, which has Robert Z'Dar. It was the last movie Robert Z'Dar, the Maniac Cop, was in, and Ari Lehman, the original Jason Voorhees, is in it, and of course they have a great local cast of characters as well. But Easter Sunday is a great flick, and I'm really happy to be working with him on Small Town Heroes, which is the name of our documentary. Hopefully it'll be out by the October show this year. We have all the celebrities in it. We have Anne Mahoney from The Walking Dead. We have Kent Wagner from The Walking Dead. We have Carla Perez, the original Rita Repulsa. We got a lot of great people in this movie this time around, and I mean Carrie Means, Aqua Teen Hunger Force. I mean it was just last show was just really great. Everybody had a great time, and we had a great time making this documentary. So I can't wait for it to come out. It's like I said, should be released hopefully October of next year.
What's the documentary about?
It's about small town conventions and about how and the kind of the hominess of it, and how the kind of the grassroots revolution of these Comic-Cons that are popping up in the small towns, and the good that they're doing the towns. The fact that families can get out and have fun, and for a reasonable price, and they can actually relive, and the parents can relive their childhood with their kids, and the kids can show the parents the new thing, I guess, and it's just it's just been a lot of fun. We also had a lot of filming. I think he also helped out with Small Town Heroes was Jerry Moore from the Monster Madhouse TV show. I think Jerry actually filmed some footage. I'm not sure if he's doing his own thing with that or if Jason's doing something with that. But they're good friends, and I mean, and hopefully we can see everything that transpired. Because when you run the con, it's hard to see everything. It's hard to be a part of everything because you're just getting pulled in every which direction. I know, like Mark saw that, and like a lot of it's just it's easy to let it slip away from you, but it's just. But the end result is just so worth it that seeing everybody having a good time and everybody doing so well. So